So I'm back in the unit where all my things got tossed, and the box, the huge bin I had for the antiques person, still cannot be located. I'm thinking it's in the tower in the furthest back, and probably someplace at the bottom. And these cartons, these bins are huge, and they're heavy, especially the ones loaded up with fabric and paperwork. It smells like mothballs in here. It just, you work in here for a short time, you have a headache for 3 days, I swear to you. You know, you could try wearing a mask or something, but you know, when it gets hot, it's really hard to have a mask on your face while you're trying to work. It's the whole situation is so bad. It's like, first of all, I don't see how I'm going to get out of here in that quickly, because to get rid of this stuff that I'm not keeping, and it's looking like more and more and more and more of it, actually, you know, it takes time to go through your things. Imagine you found out you had a month to live and you had to liquidate everything you own. And that's basically what's happening to me at this point. But the fact is that the longer I keep all this stuff, I mean, you can't even walk anywhere, and things just tumble and fall everywhere. That's how bad it is. The individual that was hired to move this stuff over here is someone that my closest friends are familiar with hearing about. An individual that has probably caused me more pain than any individual in my entire life. But they work for the landlord, so the landlord said, you know, I'm paying to have your things moved, so you don't have to pay a moving person. Well, this is what you get. First of all, and I'm teaching people who are in a similar situation. First of all, okay, this right here. I think that one carton with the watermark was already damaged, but this is mistake number one. When you move into a storage place, never have cardboard directly against concrete. Do not do it. It does not take long for mold and mildew to start growing. These cold concrete floors do not do well at all with cardboard. Everything should be in plastic tubs if possible, and if not possible, there should be wood slats underneath the boxes. There are tons of wood slats kicking around. And this individual who did this, by the way, has a full-service machinery shop that could have easily cut more wood slats for this. So the fact that these are all dead on the floor, problem number one. Number two, a lot of these bins boxes are very lightweight, and they're at the bottom, and the heavy stuff is at the top. And that is another absolute no-no. And if you're not a disabled person dealing with fibromyalgia, MS, and odor sensitivity, this would probably be no problem at all. You just move the boxes and rearrange them and put slats under them. For me, it's a Herculean task, and I have no help. This carton is starting to cave in. I don't even know what this box is. It's not marked on this side. I try to mark everything. You know, I try to mark everything, and I usually put it on two sides. Apparently, when you're dealing with this individual, and I should have learned this from 10 years of experience, that it needs to be marked on every side. But taking the time to stop and mark a carton on every side is extremely time-consuming. And here we have a box that is completely crushed in. Okay, and this entire stack is on top of it. So, my comic books, I think, I know the long box contains a lot of Superman, and I have someone I want to give that to, but a lot of my other comic book boxes are probably all in a stack, and they're probably right on the floor. And it's true, I can't keep most of my comics, and I have to get rid of most of my comics, so, but it's still a question of preserving them in the meantime. You know, I doubt I'm going to be able to find a buyer, really. Nobody wants comic books. Unless it's really super, super old vintage stuff. Nobody wants this stuff. So it's probably going to be more stuff to just literally just give away. People have said just throw it away at this point. And I don't know, I don't have it in my heart to throw away comic books, but people, like, they're not worth anything. No one is going to come and help you. You know, you're just out on the prairie here. You know, you're alone. And no one wants your stuff, you know. I've reached out for help. The cosplay community, you know, there's no help for me there. Very, 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 very little help for me there. The Lee Pace fandom has been absolutely the best fandom as far as, like, you know, being supportive and helpful and actually caring what happens to me. But, you know, what's in here, a lot of stuff that's in here is basically just going to have to go in the garbage and, or Goodwill. And probably, you know, I can find a comic dealer who will take my stuff for free. They're not going to give me anything for it, you know. And my being homeless isn't their problem, so it's not like they're going to give me pity money. I think I see a comic book box over there. There you go. Again, and there's another one dead on the floor. Right there on the floor. So I now have to try to move all this stuff. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm suffering with the smell. I'm going to be sick for like days to come now, and that's going to slow my progress more. So I'm basically going to be probably at this for a very long time, and I'm out of work. I can't work. You know, so it's really bad. Some nights I can stay at the home of a family member, sleep on the floor. I've created a little sleep mat on the floor that I can lay on, but when the hottest part of the summer comes, that probably won't be an option for me. And as the apartment will be otherwise occupied by others, and it's a very tiny studio apartment. There is a storage room in the back. I'm not allowed to use that. So basically I'll be dealing with the severe heat and humidity in a minivan. So yeah, I really, so now maybe you understand what I'm talking about when I say I'm at the point of just giving away my things. All of this stuff, you know, I mean, it represents, you know, not just the whole household of items that people have in their house, but also things that people who have a business would be selling. You know, I for a while had a business, dolls, toys, and comics. That, or I was trying to get it off the ground when everything imploded back in 2010. So yeah, it's real bad, and there's literally no hope on the horizon. My GoFundMe is dead. You know, and it's almost like if you try to say, hey, I need help. I know I'm not a cat that needs an operation, but I am a homeless human. Anybody want to help me? And there's very, very little compassion for that. People just say, you know, screw you, go get help from the state. And I'm not, it's not an option for me. And then at the same time, you've got the other half of humanity who says, it's not, the state shouldn't have to take care of you, screw you, you know, who cares that you're disabled? And this goes back and forth. So when people talk about, you know, getting help and everything, believe me, there is no help to be gotten. There are no compassionate people floating around waiting to, you know, make life better for me. So yeah, I'm basically, that's where I'm at. As I always tell people, if you want a channel full of happiness and joy to watch, and fun things and pets and animals and, you know, things like that, this is not the channel for you. If you're looking to wallow in someone else's misery and enjoy someone else's suffering, this is definitely the channel for you. I like to tell people my theme song is the one from A Series of Unfortunate Events, which is the subtitle of my life. So basically now, I'm going to be dealing with this. I'm here late because on top of everything else, there's a ton of trucks and diesel school buses and stuff that makes lots and lots of exhaust and fumes here, and I have to wait until it's past those hours of business operation for that to subside. Otherwise, on top of all the other problems here, I've also got to deal with that. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I do not do frequent updates, but this is the current update. I'm sure it's for those few of you who are my friends watching this, you probably are, you know, sad to know that it's kind of this bad, but, you know, the reason I'm documenting this is basically because who else will, you know, there's so many people that are at least as bad off as me and in trouble, and I don't know, like documenting it and letting people know, hey, you're not alone. I do disable comments. I don't have time for trolls and people who lack compassion that have a need to say cruel things and, you know, hurt you worse. I don't have time for that. So I'm sorry. I totally don't allow liking or disliking. I don't have that enabled. I don't have comments enabled. But anyway, so yeah, this is where I'm at, and hopefully in the next couple of months I will make some kind of progress, if nothing else, in at least getting wood slats underneath these boxes. But I really can't imagine being able to get rid of this storage place anytime soon. And ironically, if this was all organized well, it would not need as big a storage place. There is some possibility if I could weed it down to at least a smaller one and then pay less for a smaller one, but that also is contingent on whether this facility has any of the tiny units available. So this is really just a wait and see kind of situation, and I'm not even sure how much of this is going to end up on eBay at this point, because eBay has just been horrible. There's no money to be made, and I get nothing but hassles and people trying to get free shipping from me, even though I've told them I'm not a business. I'm not a wholesale seller from China. I cannot give you free shipping. I'm sorry. But people insist on wanting free shipping. So, and if I build it into the price, then the merchandise costs way more, and they don't want to pay it. So, not real sure that a lot of things are going to end up on eBay after all. So, and that means no money into the vehicle fund for a camper van to live in. So, yeah.